We are live for the final race of the Pierce Fleet Service Super Series season. The Sim Auto Racing Association presents tonight's RS Center Trucking 175 from the Lanier Speedway. I'm Jeff By Jr., joined by Bill Tomer in the broadcast booth. And Bill, we got a 175 lapper on one of the tightest bull rings in iRacing. This is going to get crazy tonight. I believe about 19 drivers ready to do battle here.
Yeah, this one's gonna get exciting, Jeff. We've had a really fun season here in the Sim Auto Racing Association Super Series, and I think this one's gonna be one to watch. I mean, everybody loves short track racing. That's why we're here, and this is one of the little racetracks on iRacing, Lanier Speedway. Not a whole lot of straightaway. Got to be a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. This track makes you feel like you're always turning. It doesn't feel like you get much of a break. That straightaway is so short. These drivers are going to be fighting for the bottom side of the racetrack all night long, and one of the guys that's not going to have a lot of pressure tonight, Alex McCollum, he's going to wrap up the series championship just by taking the green flag. So for Alex, this is not a racetrack you'd want to be fighting for the championship at. Anything could happen. You can get turned around here, get into a wreck, you get stuck on the outside late in the race, lose a bunch of spots. For Alex, all that pressure is off. He's got it wrapped up as soon as he crosses the start-finish line.
Yeah, as soon as he takes the green flag, Alex McCollum is your series champion. Congratulations to him, because he's here. So we'll assume that he will be able to take the green flag tonight. But good for him. And there are still some points battles up for grabs, Jeff. We're not finished figuring out where you're going to finish for the rest, for the end of the season here. So guys still want to have bragging rights, saying they finished high up in the standings.
Yeah, Ryan Kuhn will come into tonight running second in points, but he had a issue in his qualifying lap, smacked the wall down the front straightaway, spun out going into turn one, killed both of his laps, so he's going to start dead last tonight. So work to do for Ryan Kuhn, who's expected to be very quick. He was very fast in practice, and he's going to start at the rear of the field.
Yeah, Ryan Kuhn, obviously not what he was looking for. But the good news for him is the guy he was battling for the points position that he was involved with was Parker Traves, and Parker Traves not here tonight as he had a prior engagement, so not able to race tonight. So Ryan Kuhn probably has that second spot wrapped up, but it is going to be fun to watch him drive through the field.
Well, if you're hanging out with us on Facebook right now, let us know who you're cheering for tonight. A season finale for the Pierce Fleet Service Super Series. We are so thankful to have you guys with us, the 12th and final round tonight. And let us know who you're cheering for, who you're watching and looking for here at Lanier. This is a racetrack that could see, a lot of mix-ups. This is a driver's racetrack. This is not a setup racetrack. So this opens the door for a lot of guys that maybe just haven't had the setup all season to maybe break through and pick up a win tonight.
Yeah, the fast way is the bottom side around here. And Jeff, we're about to get to the lineup here, so we better figure that out and get rolling.
Well, here we go. The RS Center 175 on the pole tonight in the number 0 car. It'll be Matt Rolfe. On the outside of him, starting second in the number 53, it's Justin Laxton.
Starting third in the number 6, that's Joe Schaefer Jr. And to his outside in the 116, they call him Barbecue, it's Dustin Marquette.
Starting in the third row inside the number 31 of Josh Cottle. On the outside of him in the 333, it's Brett Suggs.
Starting 7th in the number 32, it is Trevor Edwards, and to his outside, a new paint scheme for him this weekend. The 80, it's Jacob Harberts.
Starting 9th tonight in the number 15 machine, it's Cole Cabry. On the outside of him in the number 1 car, it's your champion when he crosses the start-finish line, the number 1 of Alex McCollum.
Rolling off in the 11th position, it is the number 91 machine of Dylan Bates, and to his outside in the 188, that's Kyle Meyer.
Starting 13th tonight will be the 66 of Eric Tracy. On the outside of him in the number 18 machine, it's Aaron Abendroth.
Kyle Souza will roll off 15th in the number 7. Ryan Kuhn will roll off 16th in that number 72.
It looks like Spencer Dickinson going to start 17th tonight with Richie Murray in the number 8 machine alongside.
Aaron Johnson will round out the field, running Keith Jeffries number 88. 19 cars for 175 laps to determine your champion. And like we said, as soon as Alex McCollum takes the green flag, he will be your champ.
Well, Matt Rolfe going to start from the pole, and Matt looking for that first win of the season. He's had some good runs and some bad luck. He got caught up in quite a few things at the fall brawl. Didn't have the luck he needed, but he showed a lot of speed there. So we know Matt's got a lot of speed. He's going to start on the front row. It is tough to pass at this racetrack. This is a great opportunity for Matt Rolfe as the pace car lights are off. Here we go, green flag racing for the RS Center 175. Rolfe is off and away. Here comes Joe Schaefer Jr. already looking for second.
Justin Laxton going to have to defend on the outside in that 53 car. Schaefer Jr. going to be to the bottom. They almost make contact off of turn 2. Here comes Dustin Momberket in the 116.
Momberket's looking for third as Laxton cannot find his way to the bottom of the racetrack. A door opens, but not long enough, as here comes the 31 of Josh Cottle.
Cottle to the inside of Laxton. Laxton in the sucker hole on the outside. Can't find his way down. The choo-choo train is lined up on the bottom. They'll be side by side down into turn number 1, but Laxton losing ground to the lower line.
Momberket trying to put the pressure on Schaefer. Schaefer gets loose. Going to move up the racetrack. Momberket's looking for second place. Schaefer on the outside now. Can he get down in front of Cottle? He does. Swap the spots for Momberket.
Oh, we got Laxton around. Laxton is around in turn number 1.
Kyle Meyer goes around as well.
That battle we talked about, we got Aaron Johnson around in the Keith Jeffrey mobile. Jeff, we talked about it. That battle was shaping up, and Laxton was trying to find his way to the bottom, gets spun sideways in the 53. Heartbreak for the 53 car, start on the outside pole.
Yeah, Laxton crossed the line there in 7th, so that's how far he fell back starting on the outside. He was back to 7th. He thought he had a hole. He tried to pull down in front of Dylan Bates, and there just wasn't enough room there. Comes down right across the fender of the 91, gets turned around. Kyle Meyer got turned around as well as Aaron Johnson. Looks like Aaron might have just spun to avoid contact with the 188 of Kyle Meyer.
I think Laxton also got a little sideways off of turn 4, Jeff, if we take another look at it here. See if we can see. Well, maybe he just turned down. I thought it looked like he got sideways, but I think he just tried to find a hole there. It just wasn't open.
Yeah, just not enough room there. And shout out to, I believe that was just Jacob Harberts in the 80 machine that almost made contact with Laxton. Yeah, barely missed the 53 car, but he does survive and going to continue on. As we said, if you're hanging out on Facebook, let us know who you're cheering for. I see Jacob Hayes in the chat. He's cheering for Spencer Dickinson, who's deep in the field right now, but it's 175 laps, and attrition's going to play a part here at Lanier. As you just saw, all that battling for the inside is going to cause problems like it just did. So Spencer Dickinson, if he can keep his nose clean, got plenty of opportunity to get to the front. As the pace car lights are out, it'll be Matt Rolfe, Dustin Momberket on this restart. See Nate hanging out and cheering for Alex McCollum as we are set to go green flag racing. Matt Rolfe on the pedal again, but it looked like he got a little loose. That's going to allow Momberket to roll the top side of the racetrack here, be door to door with Rolfe down the back straightaway.
Side by side down the back straightaway. Momberket trying to make a move on the outside. That is hard to do here at Lanier as Rolfe is going to start to pull ahead. He clears Momberket down into turn number 1. Here comes Joe Schaefer Jr. in the 6.
That worked out perfectly for Momberket. Now he's putting the pressure to the 0 car right away. Dickinson back there in the 3rd spot. Josh Cottle slips down into the 4th spot. Here comes the 32 with Trevor Edwards. He goes around Cole Cavery. Now Dylan Bates going to put his nose down underneath the 15. He's going to try to take another spot away here.
Bates and Cole Cavery, they are teammates. They're going to be side by side in the 91 and the 15. That is a battle for the 6th position. Here comes Dylan Bates in the 91. Wasn't happy with his qualifying effort. He's making up positions as he's moving forward.
Bates on the move. Cavery on the outside. Here comes Harberts. Harberts going to get down underneath the 15. Cavery not able to get in line. Now he's going to have Alex McCollum, the next car coming, and still no room for Cavery to get down.
And again, congratulations to Alex McCollum. He is your series champion with that green flag start. Alex McCollum is your Super Series champion. Now Cole Cavery able to make his way to the bottom behind Alex McCollum and in front of Ryan Kuhn as they battle. Kuhn and Brett Suggs battle together as they're side by side down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Bill, remember how we talked about Ryan Kuhn starting to the back of the field? Well, he just made a pass for 10th.
I mean, we're not surprised, right? We can't be surprised. It's Ryan Kuhn.
15 laps in, he has already found his way into the top 10. As Matt Rolfe has led every single lap of this one. Here comes Dustin Momberket, though. He is putting a lot of pressure to Rolfe. And now Rolfe, down the back straightaway, actually gapped the 116 a bit there.
Matt Rolfe, good speed in the Sarah machine. Or Sarah. I don't know how to say it, Jeff. I've never asked Matt how I'm supposed to say the
I've always said it's Sarah.
But see, Sim, yeah, I always say Sarah too. So remember, a lot of guys say Sarah, some say Sarah. But he is in. You can see the S on this. He gets a little bit of the wall as he came down the front straightaway. You saw the smoke come up off of the zero car. Doing a good job out front.
It's interesting watching this group. It looks like Matt pulls the 116 off the corner, but Marquette making up a lot of time on entry of the corner. So a couple different driving styles here. You're seeing Marquette really attack the corners, Rolf going in a little deeper, or a little softer, but coming out a little harder there on the straightaway.
Matt showing he has good speed tonight. So he was able to start on the pole with his qualifying effort and the way that they lined the cars up. He's able to hold everyone off right now. As you can see, there's a little bit of a gap behind Joe Schaefer Jr. He's running in third. They're starting to get away from Josh Cottle just a little bit.
Yeah, Cottle is starting to lose touch with the 6 car as Joe Schaefer runs third. Now, Cottle is under pressure from Trevor Edwards. That is his teammate, part of the shop there in the 32 machine. Behind them, he's got Dylan Bates and Jacob Harberts. Harberts running 7th. Alex McCollum is up to the 8th spot from 10th. Cole Cavery runs 9th. Ryan Kuhn running 10th. Behind them, Brett Suggs runs 11th. Eric Tracy, Spencer Dickinson. And then I believe it's the 7th car of Kyle Souza runs 14th.
Battle here towards the rear of the field. Aaron Johnson going to go around Aaron Abendroth. That is a pass for the 17th spot. Richie Murray is there as well. He's going to make the move as well on Abendroth. So move Abendroth back to the back of the choo-choo train. And here comes Kyle Meyer. Kyle Meyer going to make a move on Kyle Souza. It's Kyle on Kyle violence right there. So we've got another battle right in front of them. Eric Tracy and Spencer Dickinson going at it as Dickinson moves into 12th.
Dickinson takes that spot, as you said. Kyle Souza on the outside now. He lost that spot to Kyle Meyer. Now he's got contact from Justin Laxton. Souza saves it, but now he's going to lose another spot to Aaron Johnson. Can Souza get down in line? He can't quite get down the racetrack. He is fighting a very loose race car.
Yeah, that car looked really loose getting down in turn number 3. You saw the car wiggle. He had to catch it. He's just going to slip to the back of the field. There goes Aaron Abendroth going by in the 18.
Let's move Souza back to 19th, the last car on the lead lap right now. Souza just fell quite a few positions there, trying to get that right rear tire cooled down, and some contact got him real sideways. Dylan Bates on the move. He is underneath Trevor Edwards now. He's trying to take away, I believe that's the 5th spot, is Dylan Bates now underneath the 32, and it's going to put Trevor Edwards in a tight spot because there is a lot of cars lined up behind him.
Right before we looked at this battle, Jeff, Dustin Marquette started to put some serious pressure on Matt Rolfe for the lead, kind of looking to find a way around him. And Cottle's starting to catch Joe Schaefer Jr. for third. We talked about how Cottle had fallen off a little bit. He's starting to close that gap. Here comes Jacob Harberts to the inside of Trevor Edwards, as Edwards now finds himself on the high side, which is not the way you want to go. And now Dylan Bates makes a mistake and ends up on the outside as Harberts comes to the bottom.
Looked like there was some contact on the front straightaway. Got the 91 a little deep into the corner. Harbert's got position there. Now Bates going to try to squeeze the 80 car. Not going to be able to do it. Harbert's has position. He is looking for the 5th position here.
That's not a mistake by Bates. That's a bump from Harberts. Probably an unhappy face on that number 91 driver.
Well, Harbert's going to clear the 91 now. Alex McCollum underneath Dylan Bates. He's going to try to take away the 6th position.
Big group of cars right here. There's Cole Cavery in the 15. That is Daniel Pope's paint scheme on that machine. Daniel not here tonight. So Cavery's throwing the celebrity hot dogs car on that machine and the wrap, and he's going forward in the 15.
Well, Trevor Edwards, who was running 5th, got past. He was stuck on the outside. He fell all the way back to 11th, and now that same fate is looking like it's going to happen to Dylan Bates, who is now stuck on the outside with nowhere to go. He's going to fall back to 11th.
You can see Bates just backed completely off there and just dropped to the back of that line. Knows he can't do anything on the top side. Why burn up the tires to try to save him and try to come forward later?
So things have kind of single filed out now as some drivers have gotten scooted to the rear, or actually the middle of the field there, with Trevor Edwards and Dylan Bates falling back to 10th and 11th. Ryan Kuhn still on the move. He is up into the 8th position, started 16th tonight. Last time by, Jacob Harberts ran the fastest lap of the race, so that driver running 5th right now is showing a ton of speed. He is being chased by your quick qualifier, Alex McCollum, who picked up that Matthew Designs pole award earlier tonight.
Just checking Facebook chat over on the Sarah side, Jeff. Nate Devone says, come on, Alex. So we got an Alex McCollum fan. Alex McCollum is currently watching on the screen running in 6th right now, putting pressure on Harberts.
Your series champion, Alex McCollum, running 6th. He has got Cole Cavery behind him, Ryan Kuhn in tow behind them. Brett Suggs has got a challenge from Trevor Edwards, who's now trying to fight his way back to the front. Edwards started 7th, was up to about 5th at one point, and is now back into the 10th spot.
Matt Rolfe still got a mirror full of Dustin Mombercat as Mombercat tries to figure out a way around the 0 car. I think he actually might be riding at this point. I don't know. He does a high entry and then gets the car really loose in the 116. I think he's trying to find a way that he could possibly make a move on Matt Rolfe, but right now, Rolfe with a ton of speed in that 0. Not a whole lot Mombercat can do with him.
Yeah, Mombercat looked like he was trying a few things there to see what might be able to work to get around this 0 Matt Rolfe. The concern, I think, for Mombercat right now, if you've seen what's happened, Justin Laxton and everybody who seems to start on the outside falls back. And so for Mombercat, I don't know if you necessarily want to ride in the 2nd spot because that puts you on the outside. That 2nd is really the worst place to restart here on this racetrack. The guy that might be cruising right now, the guy that might really be just cruising right now would be Joe Schaefer Jr., who sits in 3rd. That is a great place to be if the caution does wave here. Lap 48 of this one.
Well, he's right there. Top 3, all nose to tail for the most part. Now we've got a battle for 4th as Josh Cottle's up the racetrack. You talked about Jacob Harbert, says he was the quickest car on the racetrack. Now he's going to make a move on, well, they call him Jinx, but that's Josh Cottle in the 31. Harbert's moved him into 4th. Alex McCollum's going to follow him. Easy for me to say. Cole Cavery's there as well. Let's see if... No, Cottle's not going to be able to find his way in front of Cavery. Here comes Ryan Kuhn, Brett Suggs, and a whole bunch of cars. This is that line, Jeff, where we saw Trevor Edwards and Dylan Bates fall to the back. Now Cottle's on the outside.
Yeah, unfortunately for Cottle, one car gets underneath him, and it just opens up the door for the whole train start driving around him. It looks like he might catch a break here. No, Suggs isn't able to get to the inside. So Cottle, it looked like he had a moment where he couldn't get down, not going to do it. And that's going to put him at pressure here with Brett Suggs now looking for 8th position.
And now Cottle's going to do what Dylan Bates did just a little bit ago. Knows he cannot fight on the top side. Might as well just give it up and go to the back. So we're going to end up anyway. He saved some tires in the 31 car, and he is now running in the 11th position.
Well, Matt Rolfe is starting to stretch his lead over Dustin Mombercat, who runs 2nd. They are starting to pull away from Joe Schaefer Jr., who runs 3rd. Now Jacob Harbert's up into the 4th spot, followed by Alex McCollum. Cole Cavery runs 6th, Ryan Kuhn 7th, Brett Suggs 8th, Trevor Edwards 9th, and Dylan Bates into the 10th spot.
We are already working lap 55, Jeff. This one will flash by with as little a racetrack as we are on. Man, 175 laps around this thing. Green flag racing. I know it's just a sim, but we've talked about it before. It can tire you out.
Yeah, absolutely. This track is one of those ones where you're constantly turning, and the setups that these guys have nowadays with the direct drive and the high, working wheels with all the feedback in them, they're difficult to steer. I mean, they put a lot of pressure on those wheels to get them to turn, and it can be a grind. 175 laps here, it can really work you over and really kind of come down to a stamina deal. Who's going to have the stamina at the end to still be fresh enough to race hard for the win?
We'll get back to that, Jeff, but Joe Schaefer Jr. just had a moment. He was running around in 3rd and slot him back to 11th. Had an issue, I believe, coming off of turn number 2, and the whole group of cars that was running behind him went by him. So Joe Schaefer Jr. out of the top 3, now running 11th on the field.
It's a move from Jacob Harberts up to 3rd. Harbert's been one of the fastest cars on the track from the drop of the green flag. and he is now up into the 3rd spot. Started 8th tonight. He is bringing along Alex McCollum, your quick qualifier, who now runs 4th. Behind them, Cole Cabrey, and Cabrey is already putting some pressure on Alex as well. So no time to waste for Cole Cabrey. He is trying to get around this one machine.
From our speed shot there, the leader, Matt Rolfe, is starting to see cars in front of him. Rolfe starting to catch the back of the field as we have had in continuous green flag racing. Such a small racetrack, Rolfe is going to start to see lap traffic as he's got Dustin Marquette on his back bumper, but he does have a gap to 3rd as Harberts has had to make his way to the front. He, like you said, Jeff, he is towing Alex McCollum and Cole Cabrey. I'm sure this one isn't over.
As you mentioned, Matt Rolfe can see the back of the field. That's Kyle Souza. Souza is only 9 seconds off the leader, but that's how small this racetrack is. He is at risk of possibly going a lap down during this green flag run, even though he's really not that far off the pace.
We'll jump into Matt Rolfe's view. Well, with the A-pillar, maybe Rolfe can't see him.
Can't quite see him yet.
That thing is as wide as a 2x6 over there.
Alex McCollum going to get a bump from Cole Cabrey. He is sideways off turn 4. That is going to allow Jacob Harberts to try to drive away as Cabrey backed off, let McCollum save it. But now the one machine, he's going to have a little bit of upset right rear tire there as he slid that one pretty good off turn 4.
Those two guys are friends. They run for different race teams, but they are friends, and Cole Cabrey gave Alex McCollum a shot there. I wonder if he's trying to let him know, hey, buddy, I'm feeling pretty good. Let's get around this 80 car.
Well, the 15 of Cole Cabrey immediately jumped on the radio to apologize to Alex McCollum for that bump, and they're going to continue on racing. So Alex McCollum looks like that car is kind of stabilized. He lost some time there to Jacob Harberts, and now he's going to try to get back in a rhythm, pull that right rear tire off. Behind them, Ryan Kuhn has closed the gap on them, running 6th. Behind him is Brett Suggs, who runs in the 8th position, actually 7th position. Dylan Bates just got around Trevor Edwards, now will take over 8th.
Yeah, that was an odd one. Dylan Bates got underneath him coming off turn 4. Trevor just stopped down the front straightaway. I think he saw the gap behind him, didn't want to try to battle him and allow those cars to catch up. Now Edwards going to give Dylan Bates a bump down the front straightaway, as that's going to move Bates up the line. Bit of heated exchange here at Lanier. That's something you really want to do. Everybody's turning the whole time.
Yeah, this is that's short track racing for you. I mean, you can give guys a bump, and Cole Cabrey now underneath the one of Alex McCollum. He's going to try to take that spot away. Alex is going to give him room on the bottom. He's going to slot back in front of Ryan Kuhn, so swap those positions. Cole Cabrey up to 4th.
As I said, I think Cabrey was feeling pretty good about how his car was driving, and that was the result. He gave the bump to Alex McCollum, was trying to let him know, let's go. And Alex just said, go ahead, pal. Like, you can go if you want to go. And so now Cole Cabrey's going to move up to 4th. Alex slips back to 5th.
Shout out to Jacob Hayes, who's now cheering for Cole Cabrey in the 15 machine, who's now running 4th. Matt Rolfe, still your leader, has led 77 laps so far and starting to pull away. Extended his lead now to just under half a second over Dustin Marquette.
You know, shout out to Matt Rolfe, Jeff. They're looking really good right now in the zero car, and I hope that I don't jinx him saying this, because that seems to be what happens to us, but he's doing really, really well right now in the zero car. He's got good speed, and he's now driving away from Dustin Marquette. So Rolfe looking really strong, really racy. Must be looking for his first win this season. Just about getting close to halfway. He's got another halfway to do it, so doing a really good job right now in the zero.
Yeah, I think we said earlier, we've seen Matt have a lot of speed this season, just hasn't had the luck. His best finish came early on in the year at South Boston, where he finished 8th. And then a couple weeks ago, he had a 9th place finish at North Wilkesboro. So anything in the top 5 would be a season best for Matt Rolfe, and right now he's well on his way. As look at behind him, Cole Cabrey has caught Jacob Harberts and now is starting to look underneath the 80 machine for third.
Okay, Ray clearly on fire right now in the 15 car. Channeling his inner Daniel. I can't say it, Jeff. Forget it. Never mind. Channeling his inner Daniel Pope II. That wrap on that car. He's really putting pressure on Jacob Harberts. He wants the third spot.
Well, Cole has only ran 3 races this season, has a win at Southern National, and if you look at the racetracks on the schedule, this is the closest thing to Southern National. Maybe a little bit flatter, a little smaller, but definitely similar style rhythm racetracks. And Cole Cabrey showing once again he is very good at these tight bull rings.
We'll use the speed shot to go through the field. You saw Matt Rolfe go by first. Here comes the rest of the field, and we'll wait for Rolfe to show back up because here he is getting really close to the back end of the field. He's about to get to Richie Murray there in the 8.
Yeah, Richie Murray runs 17th on the racetrack. In the last few laps, we lost Joe Schaefer Jr. Schaefer now on pit road. He is now 2 laps down. Schaefer ran in the top 5 for much of the night, now sitting on pit road. Spencer Dickinson has called it a night. He is going to finish 19th and has left the server. So tough break for the 6 and or pair of 6 cars as they are both out of this race.
And not a number you wanted to have tonight as both 6s are out. Richie Murray's going to go up the racetrack in the 8, allow Matt Rolfe to go by. Not going to get involved in the battle for the lead. I've been noticing, Jeff, we always talk about how these cars change over on the course of a run. I feel like I've been watching the 0 get just a little bit looser. Here comes Dustin Monberquette as he's starting to close the gap.
Yeah, Monberquette was able to cut into that lead about a 1/10 of a second last time by. That time, Matt was a little bit quicker, about 1/1000th of a second quicker than Dustin Monberquette. And now the 15 underneath Harberts, they're going to make contact. It looked like Cabrey dove that car into turn 3. They are side the front straightaway. Harbert's going to try to slot down, maybe do the over-under on Cabrey. No, he's going to let the 15 go for the time being. Move Cole Cabrey up to 3rd. Matt Rolfe still out front with Dustin Monberquette trying to reel him in. Cole Cabrey now runs 3rd, Harberts 4th, Alex McCollum 5th, Ryan Kuhn 6th, Brett Suggs, Dylan Bates, Trevor Edwards, and Josh Cottle, your top 10. Working lap 95 now for Matt Rolfe, who has led every single lap from the get-go. He is now catching Kyle Souza, who is about to go a lap down. Souza currently runs 16th. For everybody hanging out, we're going to do a bit of a radio call here on Facebook until we get our video back working. Just a little trouble there as we work lap 98 of this one. Matt Rolfe still out front. Dustin Monberquette trying to reel him in. It is down to about 3.5 of a second. This battle for the lead. Monberquette starting to cut into the lead that Matt Rolfe had built up.
Hey, Jeff, bit of a technical difficulty here. I'll have it up in just a second.
As we said, we're going to go with the radio broadcast for a bit here. Field is mostly single file. Best battle on the racetrack is between those 2 leaders. As Monberquette, he cut into that lead just a little bit more that time. It's down to 0.27 seconds. So just over 0.2 of a second here in the RS Center Trucking 175 at Lanier. Ryan Kuhn running in the 6th position. He has a mirror full of Brett Suggs. Suggs has been stalking the 72 machine, and Suggs himself has Dylan Bates right on his tail. So those 3 just running nose to tail right now in the 6th, 7th, and 8th positions. We should have our video back here pretty quickly. Looks like one of our broadcast members got drop from the server, which is never what you want to see, as Matt Rolfe still leads on lap 104, but Monberquette is starting to work his way towards the zero machine. Looks like that 116 is starting to come to life now. Rolfe leading, Monberquette, Cole Cabrey, Jacob Harberts, Alex McCollum. And since that first early caution with Justin Laxton, we have been green for just about 80 laps now. So this has been an impressive green flag run for this field.
All right, Jeff, we are back in business.
Looks like we got video. We still have the, there we go, the logo's off the screen now, so we are good to go here. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us and working through the little kinks there as little server disconnect. We are back in business. Lap 109 for Matt Rolfe, with Dustin Monberquette really starting to stalk that zero machine.
Yeah, see, I think I called it a little bit ago, Jeff, and I hate to say it, but I feel like Matt Rolfe's car's gone away just a little bit in that zero. You see it just getting a little twitchy loose, not quite on the bottom, and he's watching the mirrors as Monberquette is now on the back bumper. Now Dustin's going to try to figure out how to make a move on the zero. Rolfe just doesn't look like he can handle that car right now. So look, you can see he's missing the yellow line by about a half of a car width, maybe a third of a car width. He needs to get all the way down there and start running his line.
Yeah, as this run has gone on, it looks like Monberquette's car has just gotten a little bit better. Rolfe starting to fall off just a bit. As I said that last time by, it looked like Rolfe was a little bit faster, but not by much, as Monberquette is really starting to put the pressure to him.
We're seeing the same thing as earlier, Jeff. He rotates the center really well and gets down the, I guess we'll call it the straighter part. It is a straightaway, sort of, but you're always turning here at Lanier, and you can see it right here on the back straightaway. He pulls the gap on Monberquette, but Monberquette gets into the corner better, and as they rotate and they come off, Rolfe is a better car. So yeah, it's interesting to see how these guys are right there. Monberquette able to roll right onto the back bumper of Rolfe.
Yeah, and that's it's that drive off that Matt Rolfe has that it gets him away on the straightaway, and that's where you make the pass. That's where you set up. Oh, and Monberquette got the wall. He's in trouble down into turn one. Gets that car back under control. Gets down in front of Kyle Souza. There's a lap car there, but big moment for Monberquette. It looks like he might have scraped the front straightaway wall.
And Souza almost pretty much had to take evasive action there in the 7 as a lap machine. So he was still right behind that lead group. As you look right behind Souza, and the 15 car is starting to appear. That's Cole Cabrey as he's starting to run down your leaders.
A big moment for Monberquette, who had really cut into that lead quite a bit. Now he gives some of that back. It's still about 0.3 of a second, so could have been a lot worse than it was, but it definitely had to scare him just a bit there, as that car got out of shape quite quickly down the front straightaway.
Yeah, not something you want to have happen if you're Dustin Monberquette. That has got to make you very nervous, and you can see Monberquette sliding the car through the corners. He is driving that car as hard as he possibly can, as we are getting close, very, very close to 50 laps remaining in this race. Is Cabrey able to clear the lap car of Kyle Souza? Now he sees the leaders right there in front of him. Jacob Harberts are still there as well in the 80, but Cabrey is the man on the move, as he is one of the fastest cars on the racetrack, if not the fastest.
There was a bit of a switch up there as Brett Suggs got around Ryan Kuhn. Dylan Bates was able to follow through. Trevor Edwards got around Ryan Kuhn. Now he's under pressure from Aaron Johnson in the 88 machine, and Johnson has come to life here on this green flag run. Now up into the 8th position, or 9th position, moves Ryan Kuhn back to 10th.
Yeah, Johnson 100% looking for the Toxic Media Solutions Hard Charger Award, as he is driven from the shotgun on the field, the 19th starting position, all the way up to 9th, so put him up 10 spots. That's a fun race, Jeff, when you're able to pass 10 cars on the racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. And doing it on the green flag run here, he restarted that last restart at the rear of the field. He was spun out, avoiding that first caution, and now is working his way into the top 10. That car is coming to life, and maybe he's hoping for a caution at this point, get them all bunched back up together.
There's Kyle Meyer in the 188. He's running in the 15th spot. That'll be the next car to go a lap down. We saw how good Kyle was at USA last time we were here in the Super Series, but tonight Kyle not so good in the 188. He's running around in 15th.
Dylan Bates putting a lot of pressure on Brett Suggs. You can see him taking a peek on the exit of the corner. He is right there on the 333 and just can't quite pull alongside of him down the straightaway. But a 91 car is right there on the back bumper and maybe giving him a little shot there through 3 and 4. This is the battle for the 6th position. Suggs runs 6th, Dylan Bates 7th. In front of them, Alex McCollum is about a 0.6 of a second ahead of them. Bates again, right on the back bumper, just trying to find a lane underneath the 333. Just can't quite get there down the straightaway. Again, that drive off. Looks like Suggs' car just gets off the corner just a little bit better, but not rotating in the center as well as the 91.
Got to give Suggs a shout out for that paint scheme, huh? With the candy canes and everything. Pretty cool with Christmas time being this time of year.
Yeah, absolutely. Dig the Christmas themed paint schemes and the winter paint schemes that these guys have been bringing out this season. The Fall Brawl had some really cool ones, some very cool fall paint schemes that showed up.
Jump back out front, Jeff, as we are about to hit 40 laps remaining in this event. Matt Rolfe still holding off Dustin Monberquette, has about a 0.4 of a second lead. Hasn't got to Kyle Meyer just yet. And then Cole Cabry is kind of leveled out as well, as these guys all running very, very similar lap times, all of them in the 7s.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt Rolfe has led every single lap, and if you're Matt, you do not want to caution here. You would like this thing to keep going the way it's going. He has built himself a nice, comfortable lead, about 0.4 over Dustin Monberquette. Cole Cabry, who is turning some of the fastest laps on the racetrack right now, is about 1 second behind Matt. He's gaining about 1/10 of a lap, but then he's still going to have to try to get around Dustin Monberquette if he wants to do anything with Matt Rolfe. So Rolfe looking in a very comfortable position right now.
I don't know, Jeff. Would a yellow flag really hurt Rolfe that bad? I mean, he gets the start in the ball. Oh, and Rolfe sideways off of turn 2. He is driving the wheels off the zero. You don't think he's trying to get it. That just shows you this far into a run, he is slipping and sliding in that zero car.
Well, Brett Suggs also just lost a spot to Dylan Bates, and that's going to allow Trevor Edwards to get by. Suggs falls back to 8th. Now Aaron Johnson is putting the pressure to him. Johnson going to dive underneath the 333. Can't quite get there into turn 3. But it looks like Johnson's car rotating really well in the center of the corner, and he is all over Brett Suggs now, trying to take away 8th.
Aaron Johnson having the drive of his season right now in that 88 car. So he looks underneath Brett Suggs. That's a pretty good night when you put Ryan Kuhn and Brett Suggs behind you.
Yeah, absolutely. That car is looking very strong right now. Aaron doing a great job. Kind of a short track guy himself. We've seen him have really good runs at the little bull rings and the ITZR. One winner at some of those really tight little racetracks. So this is the kind of place that he really digs, and he is going to move past Brett Suggs, move him up into the 8th spot.
It's a great run for Aaron Johnson as he looks to make it even better, as he's got Trevor Edwards and Dylan Bates in front of him. See if he can catch those drivers.
Well, Matt Rolfe still leads as we cross the line for lap 143 of 175, and he has extended that lead to about half a second over Monberquette, whose car looks like it might be getting a little tight. And behind him, Cole Cabry is starting to gain. It is now 0.8 of a second from Cole Cabry to your race leader, and Cabry running about 1/10 of a second quicker right now than the guys in front of him.
Yeah, last lap, Cabry was the quickest car out of those 3. Again, the quickest car out of those 3. Cabry with a 7:33 to Monberquette 7:71, and Matt Rolfe ran an 8:11. So they are closing up these 3 drivers with 30 laps remaining. Cole Cabry starting to put the pressure on the top 2.
The field's starting to really spread out around the track. Little 2-car battles here and there. One of them is between the 91 of Dylan Bates and the 32 of Trevor Edwards. This is the battle for 6th place. Dylan Bates has it right now. Trevor Edwards trying to take it away, and Edwards has been all over the 91 for quite a while. Looks like Bates' car is getting a little loose. Eric Tracy now on the pit road. The 66 machine was running in the 15th spot, and now he's going to dive into the pit, so trouble for Eric Tracy.
That'll be the night for Eric Tracy as he is left. Puts the 66 on the trailer, so to speak. And now, Dustin Monberquette has picked up the pace just a little bit as he was the quickest car in the last lap. In 2nd place, and now Monberquette into the wall. He gets really sideways, Jeff. We watched that happen just a little while ago. Here comes Cole Cabre to the inside.
Yeah, Cabre gonna pounce on it as Dustin Monberquette has a moment down the front straightaway. As we saw earlier, he did the same thing, got the wall. That car got super loose in the turn 1. He saves it, but now he's gonna lose that spot to Cole Cabre, and that's gonna allow Matt Rolfe to kind of build his lead. It's now 0.7 of a second, but the 2 guys behind him have turned up the heat. They were flying those last few laps before that incident.
That might be what Matt Rolfe wants to see, though, Jeff, as he's got a nice little gap now over Cole Cabre. They ran identical lap times on the last lap. Rolfe just needs to calm down and just run laps right here, as he's still got a good race car underneath him.
Well, if there was any question about whether Monberquette was holding back at all, he was not, because he was digging right there to try to get to Matt Rolfe, and just a little too much digging down the front straightaway. Just took a little too much racetrack, tapped the wall, got that car sideways, but a heck of a save for Monberquette.
Keep watching lap times. That's the most important thing here. Is that time Cole Cabre about 500s quicker than Matt Rolfe, 785 to a 736.
Cabre was just a little bit quicker last time. This time by again a little bit quicker. It was a 79 to a 73 with Cabre having the advantage in the 2nd spot. But he is taking some time out of this lead. It's down to about half a second.
Looked like a good turn number 1 from Cabre. You can see Cabre getting those left side tires on the apron. That used to be the fast way around here, Jeff. I'm not sure it still is.
Well, and you know the thing about Lanier, it's one thing to catch somebody at this racetrack. It's a whole nother thing to pass them. And
true.
That's why Cole Cabre needs to get there as soon as possible, because he's going to need time and laps to get around Matt Rolfe if he's able to catch him. And you don't want to wait till the last couple laps and just get there too late.
Closing in on 15, make it 16 to go this time by.
Unbelievable green flag run. I believe we're somewhere around about 130 laps since the last caution, which is just absolutely unreal.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. We talked about it, how these guys have really difficult wheels, you know, just getting around. It's not just that, it's the mental focus you need on a place like this. As tight as this is and as line sensitive as Lanier is, just being focused for 130 laps, that's incredible. Just wear you out.
Yeah, absolutely. As that time, it looked like the 0 car got a little tight coming off turn 4. Lost some ground to Cabre, who is now closed into about 0.3 of a second. And you can see that 15 machine starting to reel in Matt Rolfe, who's led 163 laps of this one so far. Cabre still pushing the pace, has now dropped it within 0.3 of a second. It was 2.66 last time by, as Rolfe still leads, and you can see how much momentum the 15 has on entry of the corner. Again, diving that car into the turns, but looks like Matt Rolfe's car pulls away just slightly off the corner.
Yeah, we've been talking about Matt's forward drive all night long. Matt up the racetrack just a little bit in the 0, not anywhere near that dotted line. Still getting around here really well as Cabre starts to close in. He's right on the back bumper.
Kyle Meyer going to get out of the way of the 188. Doesn't want to be involved in that one. He is running 14th. It looks like he's going to come down pit road maybe. So Kyle Meyer is going to call it a night.
Rolfe, the nice line through 1 and 2, gets down the back straightaway.
And Cole Cabre is there. He is now all over the back bumper of Matt Rolfe, and he is within striking distance as we are just under 10 laps to go in this one.
What's Cole going to do? What's he willing to do in that 15 car? Is he willing to put the bumper to the series owner? I am. I'm willing. Let's see what Cole Cabre did. Cole Cabre did not have a good turn 2 there as Rolf got down the back straightaway. Cole makes it up into turn 3, but now Matt going to show that drive. So he's going to have about a half a car length lead. And man, this is so tight, Jeff. We've only got about 5 laps remaining.
Yeah, Cole Cabre is there, and he is knocking on the door right now as Matt Rolfe still leads this race. He has led every single lap, and now just 4 to go for Matt Rolfe.
Matt Rolfe needs to be perfect. He needs to be perfect in front of Cole Cabre. Cabre needs to be perfect as well. You see Cabre sliding the car into turn number 3. He's giving it all he can in that 15 car. Matt Rolfe doing everything he needs to do. Can Cabre mount a challenge? Will he give him the bumper at the end of this race?
Well, we asked Cole last week, I believe, when he had a chance to put the bumper to Alex McCollum. He didn't do it. He wanted to win it clean. He wanted to do it without any contact, and I would assume he's going to want the same thing here with Matt Rolfe. But then again, it is the last race of the season, and if he wants one more win, now's the time to get it.
Well, it's short track racing with 2 to go, but they don't like that here at Sim Auto Racing Association. They don't like you using the bumper to pass. Cole Cabre trying to find everything he can. Rolfe is sideways off a 2.
Matt Rolfe going to see the white flag this time by, he's leading out front, and Cole Cabre right there to his back bumper through 1 and 2. No contact. Cabre gets loose. That might open up the door for Matt Rolfe as he heads into turn 3. Off turn 4, he's going to win the RS Center Trucking 175, his first win of the Sarah Super Series.
Wow. Dominance from the 0 car.
Cole Cabre going to come home second. Dustin Monberquette third. Jacob Harbert's fourth. Your champion, Alex McCollum, finishes 5th. Trevor Edwards, 6th. Dylan Bates, 7th. Aaron Johnson, 8th. Brett Suggs, 9th. Ryan Kuhn going to come home with the top 10.
Incredible drive from Matt Rolfe. Man, that was a dominating performance, flag to flag.
Yeah, I can't wait to
hasn't won a race all season, and then he just does that. That's throwing it down, huh?
I can't wait to talk to Matt because he's not a very excitable guy. You don't ever get a lot of emotion out of him, but I feel like 175 laps here after that and coming away with a win, this might be the most excited we ever going to see Matt Rolfe.
I'm not sure what that's going to sound like, Jeff. I don't know. It's fantastic, though. Man, got to be proud of that one. He had a great run in the 0 car, and it was fun to watch. I mean, that was just great driving from Matt Rolfe, just putting it right all night long, and had to hold off guys like Dustin Monberquette and Cole Cabre. I mean, that's a good night's work.
Yeah, and shout out to the quality of driving that we saw tonight. 175 laps here, 1 caution. Unbelievable the amount of respect and the talent level that we saw tonight.
Yeah, just fantastic driving from everybody in the field. And even if guys didn't feel like it was their night, they'd pull into the pits so they wouldn't mess up anything for anybody else. I mean, just fantastic field of drivers tonight. You saw it. It was great short track racing. And Matt Rolfe came out on top.
Well, we're going to get a chance to talk to Matt. And Matt, coming into this one, your best finish of the season was 8th. And the last race of the year, you dominated. You led 175 laps. You pick up your first Super Series win of the season. Possibly, this might be your first Super Series win?
I have a couple Super Late Model wins from back in the day before we had a Super Series and Contender Series. So I don't know if those count. Those were a long time ago. So this is one of the first in this series for sure.
Well, tell us how it feels, man. It's your series, and you running it every single week, but you just laid it down tonight, man. A dominating performance. You brought out your inner Alex McCollum. How does it feel to grab a win in this series with this unbelievable field?
It feels good. I mean, I won't deny the fact that starting on the pole definitely helped there. I don't know if I was faster than, I know Cole was pretty strong there at the end. Dustin was probably better than me at times during the race too. So starting up front and having track position definitely helped. But no, it feels good. That was probably the longest 175 laps that I've run in quite a while. Even though short lap times, it felt like a long time.
So somebody needs to point Matt to the standings here, Jeff, and showed how many seconds he had on all these drivers that he just drove away from.
Yeah, a little modest considering you were running some of the best laps on the racetrack all night long. It really was an unbelievable performance.
Yeah, the setup was great. It was on, for the most part, it was on rails. I made plenty of mistakes. Luckily, I think Dustin gave me a couple breaks early on, and then I was able to get a couple gaps here and there, and I was still making mistakes and messing up and get a little bit loose. But, luckily I had those gaps and just settled back in and just tried to stay smooth and consistent. And the car was awesome.
Well, I think we went about 150 something on laps, green flag there to the end. Was there a point at which you maybe just wanted a caution just for the break, or were you good to go with this thing just running straight to the green to the end?
I think if we had cautions, it would have helped some of those guys to get to the front quicker. So I was okay with it going green. I was trying not to watch my mirror too much, but I could see a blue car coming up. Cole was catching us there towards the end. I think Jacob Harberts was pretty fast there in the middle portion of the race. So I could see some of those guys in my mirror. I was just trying to focus out in front. I don't think I blinked for those 150 laps, so my eyes are a little watery right now for that reason, not the other reason. But it was a tough race, even being up front, like just being that focused. It's been a while since I've had a good car like that, so I was trying to lock in.
So you were watching the mirror, and we can tell you right now, Matt, the only car you even had to fear at the end was the guy that was on your bumper. Everybody else was slower than you, so that's how good the zero was tonight. But just I wanted to ask you, we were kind of watching what the car was doing. Did it get loose towards the end of the race? Were you getting looser and looser as the run ran on?
Yeah, depending on my entry, if I drove it in a little too hard, once I started getting some pressure from behind, I think I started driving in a little too hard. So the back end would be a little free, entry to middle, and then I was kind of chasing it throughout the corner. So as long as I backed up the entry, it was pretty stable. But if I overdrove it just a little bit, it was loose enough that I was nervous about trying to get on the gas too hard or stuff like that. So just trying to keep it smooth.
Well, Matt, we know how hard it is to run a series, and then on top of it, you're racing in one of the most difficult open setup leagues there is, and building these setups. Is there anybody you want to thank that helps you on both sides of your program here?
Well, like you guys were just saying, this series is incredibly tough. These drivers are some of the best on iRacing on the short track side of things. These guys can go out and beat pretty much everybody every week on in the official series or other leagues. So a lot of great drivers here. I want to thank all of them for coming out all season. Obviously, we can't do the league stuff without the drivers that show up every week and support the league. So obviously appreciate them. Um, from the league admin standpoint, I got to thank the sponsors too. They're we post about them all the time. They're on our website. Too many to name, but they put up a lot of money to support the league and support these drivers. All the sponsor money we get goes right back to the drivers as far as purse payouts and prizes and stuff like that. So big thanks to them. And then on the driving side, it's kind of just been me and Kyle Souza for a majority of the season. Richie Murray helped us in the fall brawl and here towards the end of the season. So just gotta thank those guys for being around all the time and helping me out with the league stuff. It's a lot of work, but when you see it all come together like this, not just tonight, but like every week when these guys put on a good show, it's a lot of fun.
Well, Matt, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us, and thank you for having us do these broadcasts. We appreciate it. We love being a part of this now, and we can't wait to see what the next season holds for Sarah because it's great that all these leagues are starting to get together, work together a little bit more, and I think there's big things in the future for the super late model community.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate you guys coming on board mid-season to help us out with these broadcasts. It's been a big deal, and like you said, it's nice having some of the leagues work together. Hopefully, we can continue that, and yeah, we'll see what's next. I know from the league side of things, I'm going to take a few weeks off here to
I
take a
don't
break
blame you.
or even start thinking about anything. So I know you guys have an event in January. I'll be watching for that.
All right, Matt. Thanks so much, and congratulations once again. Heck of a drive tonight.
Thanks.
Well, Bill, now we're going to be joined by second place finisher Cole Cavery, and I'm a little afraid to hand this guy a mic because we don't know what we're going to get out of Cole Cavery. But Cole, you were flying there at the end, maybe one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. You got to Matt Rolfe, but just about 5 laps to go. What was going through your head there trying to get around him?
Yeah, just frustration. When we take away hard racing, like using the bumper and stuff, you can't do nothing, especially in these cars. Anyways, they're hard to pass. So when we take away racing, it makes for go-kart racing for 130 laps, and that's what everyone saw tonight. And I didn't even mean to get into Jacob there. When people make mistakes, you have to pounce on them because otherwise you ride behind them like you saw Dustin, like everyone. You just can't pass. You have to ride until they make a mistake. So yeah.
So Cole, you said it. There was no thought, or I guess the thought had crossed your mind, but you knew you couldn't do it because of league rules. You thought about putting the bumper to Matt Rolfe and picking and going for the win.
I mean, if this was a different league, yeah, but I mean, you can't because it just gets taken away from you. So, I mean, congrats to Matt. I'm pumped for him to get the win, but like, it just sucks. A lot of hard work goes into these races, and when you drive hard and get behind someone and have to settle, you look down, 5 to go, it kills you because you're like, I can't do nothing. He has all the drive off he needs, and I can't even cross him up. So, no, it didn't even go through my mind because I know what the penalty is.
Well, Cole, we were listening to your team there in the first practice of the night, and you guys were a little bit off the pace. You felt like you were missing something. Did you just have faith in your race setup, or did you find something to change there before the start of the race that gave you all that speed in the long run?
No, we just have faith in Pope and Parker and everyone at 16XCI. Pope said, just wait for the race. You guys will be just as good as them. So, and I feel like we were better than a lot of the cars. I mean, we passed a lot of cars straight up right there, and that's hard to do. So, um, yeah, no, we were a little off in qualifying, but it doesn't matter anyways because I had to start ninth. So, yeah, we just had to wait for the race. But as soon as that race came around, it was lights out.
Well, Cole, so basically what you're saying is more of a track position battle, but you drove through the field, so you think that even regardless of where you would have started in the top 10, you think the results probably would have been about the same.
Um, yeah, it depend. I mean, it's hard to say. Like I said before, it's hard to pass, and I feel like the only reason why I got to that point is catching people getting caught on the outside. Like I went from sixth to 10th in the matter of 2 laps because I got caught on the outside the first lap. So, um, yeah. So I mean, I would like to say it would differ, but I think the only way it would be different is if I started on pole.
Well, Cole, you already mentioned that Parker Traves and Daniel Pope did a lot of work on the setup this week, and just told you to race it and have faith in it. And is there anybody else that helped you out and that you need to thank right now?
Yeah, definitely. Dylan Bates, everyone at 16XCI, Pope, Parker, Aaron, just all the boys. They really come together for these races, and it makes it fun. I mean, Sarah, Jeff, you, Bill, everyone that puts able to make this happen on a Thursday night is super fun, and I'm super thankful for it.
All right, cool. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us. Congratulations. I know your goal tonight was to get into the broadcast booth and talk to us. So, congratulations. A great second place run to end the season.
Yeah, I'll just keep some things to myself.
Great job, Cole.
Thanks.
Well, now joining us, our third place finisher, Dustin Monberquette. And Dustin, there was a point during that green flag run we were thinking, well, maybe Dustin's just saving, maybe he's just riding. And then you had a couple moments where you clipped the front straightaway wall and nearly wrecked that car going into turn one. Were you just at the absolute max for most of that green flag run trying to chase down Matt Rolfe?
Oh yeah, for sure. At the start of it, I was really trying to push hard and try and get a run on Matt. I saw he kept getting loose a few times, and I was hoping I could capitalize on that, but I just couldn't quite get the car to stick. But no, at one point I started to back off of him and try and cool the right rear tire back down, and it worked. And then I'd catch him and get it hot again, and it just kept repeating itself. So. No, Matt ran a perfect race. He didn't make very many mistakes at all. He was really hard to get a run on him, obviously, as I couldn't. But no, it was a lot of fun. Congrats to him. He put on a great series for another season, and it's good to see him have a really good run.
And we figured that you would hope that the front stretch wall be moved back about 2 feet for the next race. Is that about right?
Yeah, I'm hoping they don't send me a bill. I took a pretty good chunk out of it a few times.
Yeah, you did get it a couple of times. Was there anything you needed from the car that would have made it any better? It seemed like right as you were, making a run on Matt, that you did get that wall. I don't know if that, what happened there. It just getting a little bit too close. But is there anything that could have made the car a little better? Maybe give you an opportunity to pass him.
Yeah, I mean, I screwed up. I misjudged it a little bit. It's so close, and when you hit
So
the wall with
tough,
these
yeah.
things, it just kind of grabs and pulls you in. But no, the car was actually really, really good. Everyone at the shop worked really hard. Trevor Edwards, Josh Cottle, Aaron Johnson, just everybody. We worked really hard, turned a lot of laps, and made a lot of good adjustments. And man, it was really, really good tonight. And no, Matt was just he was really good there.
Well, Dustin, we talked about that green flag run. It was about 155 laps, as far as we could tell, green to the end. Were you at any point just hoping for a caution, maybe to bunch things back up or get a break? I mean, what was it like to run 150 laps here, green flag?
Oh, it's pretty demanding. With this super late model, it's like qualifying laps every single lap, and you got to be up on it, and you got to just be right on the wheel, no mistakes. And as you saw, I made some pretty crucial mistakes by hitting the wall and stuff, but it was definitely pretty tiring. Everyone's so close, and the line is so narrow that you gotta run the bottom, and you just really gotta hit it right. Otherwise, you're just gonna lose a tenth, and you gotta try and race even harder to make that up. So, no, all in all, I can have nothing to complain about. We had a really good night.
Yeah, third position, definitely a really good podium spot. Last chance of the season, Dustin, for you to give an opportunity or get an opportunity to thank the people. I know you belong to the shop, but who do you want to thank to get you all this speed?
Yeah, honestly, first and foremost, I gotta thank everybody at the shop. Josh Cottle, Jacob Hayes, Trevor Edwards, Aaron Johnson. We just added him, and he's been a great add. A lot of fun to hang out with, lots of fun to, lots of help with testing and everything, and just turning laps with everybody. Keith Jeffrey, Spencer Dickinson, Jacob Hayes, just everybody. Got to thank Rocket iRace Wraps for making this thing look as good as it does. Cottle Captures, Team VLR, McConey Setup Shop, McCullough Manufacturing, you guys for the broadcast, and Matt Roll for putting on a great series.
Well, Dustin, thanks again for taking the time to talk with us. And before we let you go, looking towards next season, I know it's going to probably be a little bit of a break, but looking towards next season, you finished this season with two top three finishes or back to back. And you guys at the shop, I mean, you were right there on the LeDuc Matthews team in the team points. It's got to give you a lot of confidence going into next season, right? That you guys are not that far off.
Yeah, honestly, for a team and like the name being the shop, all starting as honestly a big joke. It's just a group of guys who are hanging out in the race shop. Um, we have nothing to be ashamed of. We accomplished far more than what we ever probably thought we would in a season, and it's really cool to see it all come together. Um, no, Alex kind of was LeDuc Matthews Racing this season, and he was really, really good. He was extremely hard to beat. So, no, I think we had a really good card tonight, and we'll take some notes and see how we pan out next season.
All right, Dustin, thanks so much again for taking the time to talk with us. Congratulations. A great finish tonight and a great season for the shop. Great job.
Thank you very much.
Well, Bill, we can't sign off the air until we talk to our series champion. Alex McCollum picks up the championship. And Alex, do you even know what number championship this is for you here at Sarah?
Uh, yeah, I think it's 3. I think.
Yeah, he thinks it's 3, Jeff. There's so many, just too many to count. It's probably 3. Alex, not the car obviously you wanted tonight, but you were dominant, ridiculously dominant all season, and basically all you had to do was be here to claim the series title. What does it mean to you to basically, triumph over the course of a season against so many fantastic super late model drivers?
Yeah, to even win a race in this series is pretty damn hard. But even to win a championship's even hard. But even to go 3 in a row with championship is like ridiculous. So I'm just very fortunate enough to put myself in a good position every week and get the 3rd championship.
Well, this was your 6th pole award of the season. You have 4 wins. You win the championship. Eh, I mean, looking at next season, I know we're gonna have a little bit of a break, but I mean, do you just go into next season already on a high? I mean, you've been so dominant this season. Do you expect anything to change going into next season, or do you think you're gonna just come out firing and be the class of the field once again?
Um, honestly, I don't know. There could be an update. We can have a new car. Like I heard they're working on the late model stocks. That could be the new car. I don't know, but um, after tonight, like, kind of want to step away from not necessarily iRacing, but I just don't want to, do it as much as I used to. So for next season, I don't. You probably won't see me very much, but I'll try to get on as much as possible. But um, I don't know.
There's
This,
about 24 drivers that just went yes.
yeah, but just I don't know. Tonight, just I don't know. I just missed it on the setup. I mean, I don't know. It's just,
Well, you ran 5th, so you didn't miss it by much.
High
no,
standards.
but
High
in
standards.
the car, I knew I missed it because I was swatting flies out there. But nah, I just think I set the car up too good for the long run, which means the longer it went, it just got looser and looser, which I think I just had too much turn in it. So if it was short run, we would be solid, but if it was a long run, we weren't gonna be good. So, I mean, I'll take a 5th. Good season, championship. I'll take it.
Good season. Let's talk about that future though, Alex. You say you want to step away a little bit. Is there you talked about a different car, maybe a change of the car. Is there any of those things that make you excited? Maybe a new challenge. If the car changes, obviously that's going to mean you got to build new setups, things like that. Does that get you more excited, or than it would be if the car just stayed the same?
Oh, I'm looking for something new. I'm sure everybody is. It's just we're basically at the point where there's really no more speed to be found. We everybody has their own thing, and we're all just looking for something new to build off of, to start from scratch. Part of me, I just want the new late model. I want to try that. I'm hoping that's good, but I think everybody's just frustrated with the Super because it's so hard to pass and race. There's no top. There's you just can't really race in this car.
So Alex, you seem like you're more interested in getting a new car, the late model stock, and if that drops, I mean, what do you think that's going to do to the community? Do you think that it's going to split the community, or do you think that's just going to bring a whole group of people back into it?
Um, I think you'll see a lot of old names come back into the short track scene. Um, I think that car's gonna honestly probably the best short track car we have. So, um, I feel like they're gonna put a lot of work into it, and I think they're gonna work on dynamic track here. So hopefully, those two things right there will bring back what we need for short track racing.
Well, Alex, before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank for all their help this season that helped you get this championship, those 4 wins, and those 6 pole awards?
Yeah, I gotta thank everybody at Omar, McCall Manufacturing, JDR Graphics. Forgot to shout them out 2 weeks ago for putting this paint together. So there you go, JD. I got you. You guys for broadcasting. Matt for putting this league together. Hell of a job to Matt. He held off some really good drivers, and honestly, I'm more proud to see Matt win than I am. So that's pretty cool for him. So congrats to those guys over there. And everybody that does work for this league, does everything to help me. All my friends. Everybody. It was just a good night.
Well, Alex, congratulations! A absolutely fantastic season, and we don't want to see you go away. So we hope there maybe is a change that keeps you interested and keeps you racing here at Sarah and ITZR, and we like having you around and enjoy talking to you. And it's been a great season. Thanks.
Thank you. And I will try to make the icebreaker, so I'm gonna try to make that. So we'll see.
All right.
Congratulations, Alex.
Thank you. You guys have a good night.
Well, Bill, that's gonna do it for us, and now we're gonna kind of take some time off for the holidays and enjoy our Christmas break before things start to fire off in January. Because we got some big news coming in ITZR. Alex kind of just told you the icebreaker coming up in January, the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th. It's gonna be 3 days with super late models, street stocks, and legends. And that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that event. And then, of course, Season 10 for our Late Model Shootout Series is just around the corner.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff. We don't like to push our own stuff here over on the Sim Auto Racing Association broadcast, but I think the next thing coming up for super late model drivers is going to be that icebreaker, which is another big event. We just had the Fall Brawl here at Sarah just a month ago. So in about a month, we'll be doing another big event. This time it'll be fixed setups. You guys won't have to build the setups. We'll build them for you. Just come and race. But signups are available and up and open for that. So that's going to be pretty fun here in about a month.
Yeah, and we got a chance to talk to Matt, and as he said, he's going to take a couple of weeks off, enjoy Christmas before they start making plans on what's next for Sarah. And so make sure you're following the Sim Auto Racing Association Facebook page for what they got coming up in their next season. And of course, everybody enjoy your holidays, enjoy your Christmas, your New Year's. Can't thank you enough for everybody that hangs out with us. Thank you again to Pierce Fleet Service for the sponsorship of the Super Series. They've been fantastic. Thank you to everybody that supports Sarah. Again, check out their website, racesarah.com. You can see all the people that support our hobby, and make sure you go like their Facebook pages, support them. Thank you again to RS Center Trucking for tonight's sponsorship of the race. It was a fantastic one. Maybe the best race of the season, as far as I'm concerned. That was just absolutely fantastic racing all night long.
Yeah, that one was really fun with green flag runs. I mean, you can't ever complain about green flag runs. They're always a blast. And that was a long one. And congratulations again to Matt Rolfe picking up probably his first Super Series win. He talked about that he's won stuff before the Super Series existed. So let's just call this his first Super Series win. Congratulations, Matt. Great job.
Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out, and we will see you in January for the ITZR Icebreaker, and hopefully some news coming about the Sim Auto Racing Association's next season. We can't wait to be a part of it. We hope we will see you there. Enjoy your Christmas, enjoy your holidays, and we will see you in January.